channel is a not-so-proud member of YouTube's all-encompassing special society of heavily overwhelmed layout enthusiasts. Check any railway show, check any railway club, check any layout, check your own house. You'll find one of us somewhere. Warning, the content of this stream is not suitable for children under the age of 16. The topic, language, themes, attitude, and personality of the presenter is not appropriate for anyone, much less children under the age of 16. Topics discussed will not center on trains and will focus on anything except politics. It just happens trains are running. Any similarity between characters, situations, trains, and intelligent thoughts is strictly a coincidence. Any rebroadcast or transmission of the stream without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember the 3 rules for model train layouts and pretty much anything. It's your layout, do what you want as you want. Do not tell someone else what to do unless they ask you directly what they should do. Do not call out, mock, criticize, or insult another channel on your channel or anyone else's channel. Thank you for your cooperation.
See it, you'll love it, and it's all done in the best possible way.
Hey, happy Friday, everybody. Well, the few that are here today. Hope you're all well. Anybody who follows me on Facebook knows this has been a week from hell for me, but it is what it is. And I see the plumber said that he's not feeling well, so my condolences to you. So, hello, Ethan Armitage. How are you? Hey, GWR Buckley Junction. Nice to have you here, sir. We have the plumber, as mentioned. Again, get well soon, man. I don't wish sickness on anybody. My good friend Andrew McDonald, the March West Junction TMD chap. Jerry, the Class 812, the Caledonian, is here. Tim's Hobby Desk is here. Nice to have you consistently. Joseph Agliato. Christopher, nice to have you here. I saw you post a couple of videos. I have not watched any YouTube last night or today. Today, just because I was with my grandson, Kyan. Yesterday, I was just trying to get stuff ready for today and catch up with some household stuff I needed to do, but I was sick. So let me see. Hey, that's great. Robert, how are you? You're going to Getz. All right. Well, you have a good journey and have a great time at Getz. I figured we'd have a lot of people on the road to Getz. You can blame whoever you want to blame when you come down with something. I've been blaming Joyce. Mark, Model Rail Fantasia is here. Robert, let's see. Joseph Agliato, if I missed you, hi there. Anybody I've missed? I don't think so. I think I'm caught up with the few, the proud, the insane that are here today. Yeah, so Monday I woke up feeling fine. I did my morning exercise routine. Joyce had taken the day off of work because we did that getaway weekend. So Joyce had stayed home, so we slept in a bit. And then we went out and did a little bit of shopping, including buying myself an exercise bike because the weather's starting to get where it's just too cold and nasty to go riding first thing in the morning, too dark. So I bought an in-house exercise bike. And we got back about 2 o'clock. I sat down in my chair in the living room to watch some YouTube and train videos, and all of a sudden I got cold. I was just like, wow, it's cold. I'm really cold. And Joyce is looking at me, it's not that cold in here. And I'm like, I'm really cold. And I kept shivering. And about half an hour later, I went and put on a hoodie because I'm like, I'm freaking freezing. And I'm sitting in my chair shivering. And I'm like, okay, this isn't right. I put on a sweater, I put on a hoodie over the sweater, and I'm freezing. So Joyce ran and grabbed the thermometer, took my temperature. I was at 101. And I was like, oh, I'm sick. So rather than immediately pump me full of chicken noodle soup and everything else, Joyce is like, take the test. Great. So I'm sitting there shivering and feeling miserable. It just came out of nowhere. I'm just having the shakes so bad. And so yeah, then it's the home test. And she's like, you got it. I know you finally got it, because everybody in my family and everybody in Joyce's side of the family has had it except me, which I've lorded over people. And negative. Well, we'll try again later, because sometimes those tests don't show right away. If you've been vaccinated multiple times, it may not show up right away. There are cases where it takes 2-3 days. So I tested 4 times over the first 3 days I had this. And it kept coming up negative. But I ran somewhere between a 99.8 and a 102.3 fever pretty much all of Monday and through Tuesday. And into Wednesday morning, the fever broke for a bit. And then as I decided I felt decent enough to take a shower, go down in the living room, my fever kicked back in. And I was medicated and everything else. And I took another test Wednesday. And it just, wow. I had the chills and the shivers, the shakes, nasty fever, and just absolutely was drained. And I was supposed to watch Kai in a few days this week, because my daughter has an artist show that she sets up a booth and attends. And I was going to watch her, my grandson, while she was getting ready for this show. And of course, the 1 week she really needs me, I can't be there for her. I felt really bad about that. I still feel bad about it, because it's typical Dodge luck that the 1 week she really needs Cayenne out of her hair, because he doesn't let her work when he's around. That's why I watch him a couple days a week, so she can get some work done. But she says she's pretty much good to go. So anyhow, yeah, so that's it. Yeah, today I've been fine. I've had Cayenne most of the days, taking a nap now. My daughter just went upstairs to watch him while I did this. Yeah, so what it is it's some kind of a flu. There is one going around my wife's school. In fact, 2 kids were out for 4 days, which is roughly how long I was sick. They were out for 4 days with fever and no other real symptoms. Joyce didn't ask them about the chills. And they had come back on Monday while she was out. So she saw them on Tuesday, and she said, hey, what did you have? My mom just said it was a flu, but it wasn't the showstopper. And it just, it was a nasty 4-day flu. The last time I had a flu that lasted more than 2 days was my first year of teaching in the public school system here in Toledo. I picked up something from my students, because we teachers build up our immunities. We get little stuff, but basically you get exposed to a little bit each day you're on the job, so that when somebody's really got it, you've already built up your immunities. Most of the time when we teachers take a sick day, we're not as physically sick. Yes, sometimes we do get a cold or a flu, but usually it's a mental health day. It's just like you wake up in the morning and go, oh, I can't do this shit today, and take a day off. A mental health day, but we call it a sick day. We earn so many a year, so, it's okay. We're not screwing anybody. It was so bad. Never lost my appetite, though. I probably didn't keep hydrated enough, but yeah, three full days of a fever was ridiculous. So anyhow, Kieran just came in. David Cook, nice to have you in here. Yeah, I've had all 4 jabs here in the United States, Robert. Joyce and I are very proficient and very proactive about that stuff. And plus our jobs were on the front line. We had to get them right away. But they cost us nothing. And yeah, the day they were offered, the first jabs, we got them. The second jabs, got them. The third jab, and now the 4th jab we got a couple of months ago. I think after we came back from the UK. It might have been before we went to the UK, but it might have been after. That time is all blended now. So it's just, that's great, Rick. See, I've never had it either. I have not had it. Everybody in Joyce's family, in fact, there are parts of Joyce's family that have had it twice. My 3 kids have all had it. My son-in-law had it. My son's fiance had it. Joyce had it. But I never got it. And I still haven't had it. I had a flu, but it wasn't that flu. So anyhow, that's the big deal this whole week. And I had a lot of stuff I was going to work on because I'd talked myself into starting to work on the Fowler car stuff. Last week I've shown you. And these are sitting here from where I set them down last week because Joyce and I went out of town right after that show. And these pieces are still sitting here marked up, not cut because I haven't been down here until today. Actually, last night I came down here to set some trains up. And then I did my test runs with them while Kyan wanted to watch trains. So kind of killed 2 birds with 1 stone. But so I did go to a train show last week. I bought 4 cars. You'll see them on the layout. Are they anywhere where they can be pictured? Let's look at, what camera would it be? That one? I don't know how well you can see them there, but I've got them set up there. I'm not running any freight today. Oh, Chris didn't have it? I thought he had it. I thought you had it and Chris had it. Anyhow, hi, sweetheart. Let's see, who else? Hey, Rick is there. I haven't done anything with the Fowler car. I was getting ready to do it this week and then decided to be sick instead. I get very mild. I have a very strong constitution. I have a very strange immune system that, whoops, not that. Whoops, not that. Wow, I'm just bouncing all the wrong screen transitions. Sorry about that. I keep waiting for somebody to recognize Kenny Everett, but and his character Cupid Stunt. They were never actually allowed to say her full name on the BBC. She could be called Cupid, and that was it. With the famous cardboard Parkinson interviewing her, the American bimbo actress Cupid Stunt. Cupid Stunt. One of those great names that I've tried to mimic over the years in my comedy bits. God, I loved Kenny Everett. Hey, Clive is here. How are you? But yeah, I don't get sick. I mean, I've had a couple of times in my life where I've had something that lasted more than a day. I've had a couple of we call them stomach flus, but technically they're not flus, but you know, where I would throw up for a day or so. But otherwise, you know, I might get a little naggy cold, but nothing that, you know, only gives me an excuse if I didn't feel like going into work anyhow. So anyhow, I will get the trains running because I don't have a whole lot to babble about. It's just we have a small crowd today. I was expecting that. A lot of people traveling to Getz. A couple other guys are actually doing live streams right now. So I will go to the worldwide angle and let you all see everybody running. Where am I at? Come on. There we go. Multi-view. There we go, the multi-view. Okay, and there we'll get I put the Mahler down there. The Eurostar, the Beatles Eurostar did not really like going around those tight curves because I think those are maybe 18-inch radius. They might be 15-inch radius Bachmann curves, easy track curves. Yeah, from all legends, Kenny and his best friend Freddie Mercury. That's why I was as a Kenny Everett fan, I was very offended that Kenny Everett was not ignored in the Freddie Mercury movie, but he and Freddie Mercury were best friends until they had a fallout because they were both drunk, and from all reputations, Freddie Mercury and Kenny Everett were nasty drunks. The more drunk they got, the nastier they became. And they got into a nasty fight over the guy that wound up giving them both COVID. Or COVID, gave them both AIDS. Because the guy, you know, both Kenny Everett and Freddie Mercury contracted AIDS from the same guy. I don't know how many people know that, but yeah, it was a shared boyfriend. And when they found out it was a shared boyfriend, and they were arguing over drug prices, you know, because Freddie Mercury was like, I'm always buying you the cocaine and blah, 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 you know, blah, blah, blah. But, oh, let me double check that. Huh. Let me see how it looks on Joyce's page. Ah, interesting. It is there. That's weird. It should have done it. Ah, well. I will go to my YouTube page and cancel that one out. Hopefully, I won't screw anything up. As long as I do it right, I won't screw anything up. That should not have screwed me up, but hopefully I'm still here. Hey, Hot Dog Pilot Andy, how are you? Hey, Rick. Now, so yeah, let me go ahead and, first of all, let me turn the sound off this dude. Just gets in my ear. I feel like I start. EFO is here. Yeah, sorry about that. It normally works, but today it started this stream up and apparently left the notification one hanging there. It's like, I have this set up. Why did it not do it? Ah, well. It is what it is, as they say. Nope, lost another subscriber. My popularity's just dwindling. Okay, so anyhow, let's go back to OBS and... Well, I would skip anything to go to a company party trip to Stockholm too, EFO. Hey, there's Tim JD. Sorry about that, Tim JD. I did not know it did that. Well, my memory over the last couple of years is that Gets is a big one for YouTubers. You just hear all the guys who are going and then they try to get there. My meetings are small. I haven't gone to a big train show where all the other YouTubers would meet. I did go to the Berea train show on last Saturday. Joyce and I went out of town for the weekend. I had a good time. But we went to the Greater Berea Model Train Show. And we met Dave from Crooked River and Eastern Railroad. And we met Rick here from Rick's Railroad. And his wife, Lisa. Who, sadly, I'm so embarrassed. The drive home and then watching the Browns play, when I sat down to post a picture, I all of a sudden could not remember your wife's name. I was so ashamed of myself because I don't like forgetting people's names. I felt so bad. I'll blame it on the oncoming illness, messed with my brain. So, I mean, now I'm well ahead of YouTubers I have met now. A year ago at this time, I had never met other model train YouTuber guys that have some level of channel out there where they're consistently posting train spotting and model train layout videos. So a year ago at this time, I had met none. Now I met 2 in Berea, and then how many we met in the UK in June, which was not nearly as many as we wanted to meet, but it was amazing to meet anyone. Hey, Wigwag, how are you? Oh, you were gonna go, Clive? I'm sorry you didn't get to go. Hey, Jerry, how are you? Mason Dixon, if I didn't say hello to you. Kiwi Dave. I'm just going back on the chat after I got them babbling. Hey, Digger, what's up? So anyhow, what are we running on the layout today? Well, you can see the Austrian Railjet and the ICE-3. This will be the ICE-3's last time around for a few weeks because I'll park him. He's been running for the last 3 live streams, so he'll get a rest. I've just enjoyed running them. There definitely is a motor issue with my ICE-4. I'm going to have to send it out and get it repaired. So, hey, Wigwag Workshop, if I didn't say hello to you. I may be asking a lot. So anyhow, so that's those 2. And then the third big looper is going right above me right now. I'm running the Czech EC, the Eurocity, and of course the Railjet just cut in front of it. And there you can see the Czech Railjet is running. I'm running the both Railjets, the Austrian and the Czech. And then coming around that corner, you can see, although the Czech Railjet will be in your way again. I am running a steamer still. It's a BR-18-4, and those are the 4 cars I picked up at the Berea toy show, train show. I always say toy show because I'm used to going to toy shows. And then way in the back, you can see the last guy of the 6 on the main layout, which is my little red Lint Class 648 diesel multiple unit. But there's the Czech EC. So I'm running a couple of Czech trains next to each other. You can see the Railjet way in the back. That might give you a decent view of those cars. Those cars are very interesting. They're apparently pre-World War I. So that makes them, in terms of era represented, they're my oldest cars. But apparently they are also from late 1980s. And if that's true, then they're also the oldest pieces of train stuff I own by far. I think the oldest thing I own is a 1995 ICE-1, which I got in a trade from my friend in Canada, Herb, although I haven't heard from Herb in a while. I guess I better email him. That's train port to you. So yeah, it is Prussian. I knew it was Prussian. I guess I should have put that in my letter because I did see the KP, and yes, I know KP enough on the logos. Königreich Preußen. I'm just trying to see if I can get them on a good camera. Wow, Hot Dog Pilot, how were you almost wiped out? But, you know, there was just one Märklin dealer at the show. I shouldn't say one Märklin dealer. There was one guy that had a lot of German stuff. There were a couple of guys that had a couple little things or a couple of German, you know, Fowler, Nock buildings. But really only one guy had any real amount of German rolling stock and locomotives. Nothing modern. There they are. What I liked about them was the coloring. Just, they're different than anything I have on my layout right now. Nothing else, just the random coloring. Yikes, a van driver. Hey, Jean Ricard, how are you? Hey, Kieran, by the way, how have you been doing? We're not talking like we used to. I miss chatting with you. I even dedicated a song to you a while ago. Yeah, the next train show I'll be going to, I will see if Joyce is up to going to the Columbus one. Otherwise, I'll talk her into going down and visiting our son in Columbus. And then I'll go to the Saturday, but not the Sunday, because we'll want to come home on the Sunday, if not the Saturday evening. We might go down Friday night, spend the night, go to the show, and come home Saturday after we're done at the show. So yeah, I'm pleased with those cars. They're a different style for me. I just thought they looked cool. They are Fleischmann. They are my first Fleischmann, and they're old Fleischmann. They're a little lightweight, but not bad. And they've got the Fleischmann Profi couplers, which are fantastic couplers. And their close coupling is amazing. There's not even a millimeter between the cars there. Yeah, that's what I've learned. Evo, between you and Jim Hovermotion, and even my friend Christopher, if he's still here, you guys all spotted it. Jim Hovermotion actually has one of the original sets in DC, the set from 1987, 85, 87, and then they released it in 1988 in AC, and then from what I understand, they did a reissue in 2012. But these are not from the reissue, based on some stuff my friend Tom from Tom's Märklin Trains and Vintage Cars asked me to check. Basically, it simply means Kingdom of Prussia, Rail Union. I want to say it's Eisenbahnverbund. So Königreich Preußen, Königreich Preußen, Eisenbahnverbund. So Königreich is kingdom, Preußen, Prussia, Eisenbahn, railway, and Verbund is union or confederation. And see, the thing is, even when Germany was first united as a true united nation in 1871, following the Franco-Prussian War, although Germany was technically united as the Holy Roman Empire, as anybody that teaches history like I did will tell you, it was neither holy nor Roman, and it was barely an empire. But when Germany became a truly united country in 1871, it's only 1871 since there's been a country on any map called Germany as a united singular country. But still, the individual states kept their own rail lines. So you still had the Bavarian state lines, the Prussian state lines, and the Württemberg lines, the Hanover. So Saxon. You still had basically each state pretty much ran their own train system. The reissue has a better motor and better locomotive colors. Yeah, I could accept that. The difference in tech between 1988 and 2012. I don't know. I know what locomotive ran with it now because Jim sent me the picture of the box that the set came in, and my cars look exactly like what he's got in his kit. But still, the thing is, of all the companies that you've heard me talk about in my section of the hobby, Märklin, Roco, Brava, ESU, Pico, P-I-K-O, Fleischmann, there are fans. There are people like me who love Märklin, and there are people that do not like Märklin. There are people that love Pico, and some of us that think Pico overall is fine, but individually there's a lot of crap Pico puts out there. You rarely hear anything bad about Roco, period. Roco's just good. You don't hear anybody really criticize Roco, so that should say something. I mean, I shouldn't say you don't. I never have. I've never heard anybody bashing Roco. The biggest bash I ever hear about Roco is not as good as. But usually it's very good money. You bang for your buck, very good quality. Well, there you go. So EFO's going to clue you in. See, I don't know any rail history. I know history. And I teach German history, but I don't teach deep into the railway system of Germany. We teach more of the political and social history, and not necessarily the individual rail stuff. I still don't truly understand the UK's long history of nationalization, privatization, secularization, renationalization, reprivatization, all those. Hey, there's Leslie. Yeah, I can't speak about Roco's track. I'm talking just their trains. Brava, for example, Brava people say always high quality but fragile. Too good in their detail. They put every little detail on and you can break it very easily. They're gorgeous, kind of fragile. Fleischmann, I have never, in the 6 years I've been into this hobby, I've heard somebody say something bad about all the other companies. I have never heard anybody say anything but glowing stuff about Fleischmann. That Fleischmann was the company. Märklin may have been bigger, but Fleischmann was just... Old Märklin was as great a quality as anything, but Fleischmann's quality never dropped off where Märklin's did, I guess is a way to put it. And again, I don't know business sources. I don't know the old history of these companies. I know Märklin's history because I studied it when I got into the hobby. I wanted to know about this company. Speaking of which, there is Jim. His ears must be burning. Well, they should. They look just like yours, Jim. So yeah, even before I met you online, Jim, on the German sites, people loved Fleischmann. Fleischmann was just good quality. And you rarely have anybody who's got anything negative to say about Rocco. Märklin is, most people, I hang out on Märklin forums. I hang out on 3-rail forums. The European ones, the Germans. And, and Germans, I love Germany, and I love the Germans. And if you don't know the Germans, you can misinterpret a lot of things, but they can come across very, that is wrong, and you will be shot and has to leave the country for it. But they will point out every little flaw, sort of like rivet counters. But, most of the Germans I follow, yeah, Märklin's good. Some people are like, Märklin used to be good, they still suck. But when was the last time you bought Märklin? 25 years ago. Well, I've been buying their stuff the last 6 years, and it's top of the line.
Somebody insisted.
Uh-oh. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest on our show today. Not only Joyce. See, now Tillig makes mostly tabletop, and I never hear anything. Okay. Somebody just woke up from his nap. Hang on. You want to say hi, Kyan? Say hi, everybody. What? What do you want? That one? Yeah. All right. Do you want to show that on the camera? Show the new one. Hold it like that. Put it right there. Put it right there. There you go. You're a pro. Hold it up to the camera. The Beck's beer car. That's also a Fleischmann. Up, 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 up. Now I'm doing my show. Oh, your mommy's watching too. Do you want to say hi, mommy? Hi, mom. She's looking for her. Up, up. All right. Do you want to hold it? All right. No, you want to go over there. Well, I have to watch my stream, dude. So if you want to go play over there, you're going to have to go stand, okay? You want over there? Here, I'm going to set you down over here, and then you go over there. No, I can't come with you. He's going to drag me off. What? Do you want up here? Yes? All right, you got to stay. No, I'm not turning the chair around. You can stand there. If you want to stand there, you can stand there. Okay? Here, you can stand. Hey, George, how are you? So, I debated on going to tabletop when I first got into the hobby. Decided I wanted to get into the hobby because I thought it would fit my room better. And I didn't think I'd be able to put a big layout in my house. And I thought tabletop being like halfway between N scale, which I thought too small. Sorry, N scalers. And HO. I thought tabletop would be a happy combination. The problem is the two trains I wanted, the ICE and a Regio, the double-decker Regio bond, I could not find at that time, especially an ICE. I think I eventually found a Regio, but I could not find an ICE where I could find an ICE and HO. So I went with HO, but I did look at going TT. Because Pico and Tillig make TT and a couple other companies do, of the German side. I think a couple of UK companies make TT as well. So, yep, this is my little guy here, my grandson. I'm sure anybody that's been on this show before, been on this live stream, knows my grandson, Kyan. He often does not like the mallard running. He's bipolar about it. Sometimes he likes the mallard, other times he's not. He doesn't like it on the floor. He gets scared when the trains are on the floor. I don't know if he thinks they could chase him. Verwaltung, not Verbund, Verwaltung. All right, I said Verbund, it was Verwaltung. Verwaltung means government or controlling apparatus. Hey, Curly, how are you? Tiller bought the other part of Saxon Modella that Rocco didn't buy. Because Rocco and Fleischmann are owned by a bigger company that is selling them. Rocco and Fleischmann names are for sale. The bigger company that owns them wants to sell them off. And last I checked, which was late last year, they still hadn't been sold. Now maybe I missed something happening this year. But Rocco and Fleischmann are still for sale. The big, huge parent corporation that owns them wants to cut them off after basically they combine the two companies. Rocco makes the HO and Fleischmann now makes the N scale. And then they canceled Fleischmann's famous Profi track, which Jim here from Hover Motion really needs. Hey, John. Cool to see you building your new modular layout. That was a great bit of a live stream, the little bit I got to see it. What? All right, so Robert's taking off. Hey, Paul, there you are. I shall say this only once. Hi, all. That's a bit better. Okay. Hey, Ray, how are you, sir? Do you bowl today? So, Robert, have a safe trip and have a great time. I'm sure you'll steal the camera at a lot of places. Watch out for your drone pictures. Still part of some of my favorite video is the bit I stole from you. When you and Alan Wiles were bantering with each other, you can just see Joyce in the video. She's falling over laughing. You two were just giving each other good forget, and it was just hysterical. Oh, I miss bowling leagues. Dop, 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 dop. Up. Well, if you want to play with that stuff, you got to get down. But Opa's got to watch the cameras here. Yep, you're on the camera too. See? There you are. There you are. Smile, you're on the camera. Shall we make it big real quick? Smile, you're on the camera. And you're ready for a haircut again. And my daughter's like, no. Look, look. Opa's on the camera. Die? What? No, no. No, no. He's hovering over the exit button. He's all done? You're all done, right? I can turn this off? No. No, no. Opa's doing a live stream. You're out of luck. He knows how to shut my computer off, and he knows how to shut the central station off. And so he's decided, Opa, you've spent enough time live streaming. No, not done. You can go upstairs with Auntie Liz. Or you can watch trains with me. Or you can talk to these people. Oh, I still got my mugs here. Doo-doo-doo. Yep, we gotta go this way. When you're a two-fisted drinker. And obviously, I wonder what we're compensating for when Rick's mug has to be bigger than everybody else's mug. Rick's is just a little taller. Up. What? Huh? That? I don't know. You can play there, but I'm running trains. Oh, you want it on eBay or in a contest? Jean Ricard, he definitely has a much bigger group of words where he will now clearly say those words. But still, 90% of what he says, it sounds very definitive. Remember, one of my degrees is linguistics, the study of language and sounds. And so I'm always attuned to, as my kids learn to speak and as he's learning to speak, differences and everything else. He's got very definitive statements because you hear the same syllables in the same situation, but they sound nothing like what you think they should be. And then when he's emphatic about something, like what you're hearing a couple times, he's like, done, 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 which is his way of saying, turn it off, we're out of here. Done, done, done. I'm done. No, I'm not done. No done. You want to go upstairs? You want Auntie Liz to get you? Hey, Liz! He really should go back upstairs now. Yeah. Why don't you go back upstairs and play with Liz? You think it? Well, that's it. Maybe he is speaking Danish. Okay. Tell everybody bye-bye. Go see Auntie Liz. Okay, we'll see you later. Your mom will be here soon. Oma will be here, about another half hour or so. So, yeah, anyhow, David Cook was in here, and I wanted to finish my yak in. Hope you're doing well, David. It's nice to see you. Now if we can just catch up with Colin White. Tom Couples is here. Hi there, Tom. A Hatton's auction. Okay. I know it's the terminology. I know it's what they do. But I so often... Oh, he did stop. Okay. Kyan turned off the other train. But anyhow, when you have to pay for it, it's hard to call it a win. I'll just move that up out of the way. You hit. Hey, Damien, how are you? John, you hit the like button. You felt the shock, and suddenly you have an affinity for German trains. Trains are addictive, and you just, anybody in the hobby knows it could be a love-hate addiction like heroin, where when you're on it, you think you feel good until you feel miserable. And when you're off it, you feel miserable till you think it's going to make you feel good. But everybody loses their mojo. I don't think the only time I really lost my mojo was the Fowler car system last year, which I've talked about many times, how it just burst my heart when I had it working perfectly and decided to make it easier and screwed it all up. And it's taken me over a year and a half to work up the courage to go back at it. And I actually planned on working on that this week until I decided to be sick instead all week. But I really want to get to the point where I can build the Delmenhorst City Hall water tower complex, and then I can finish that Delmenhorst side, and you'll actually see me doing scenics and stuff like that. Oh, now looking forward to the drive. Now, you're going to Getz too, aren't you, Leslie? Or are you going to a different one? An extra appearance from automation demos. Now, one shop in Norway still has that one Norwegian train that I really thought looked cool. Okay, Paul. Show and Barrow in Furness will take long enough. Okay. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Evo, thank you. I do know the channel On Tracks, as well as Pilentum always has great, just from around the world. I thought, the funny thing is, I thought I would have more time to watch YouTube when I retired. And of course, being off work for a year and a half, or I was home working from home, which was a much easier schedule. Got a little used to that free time, but I wasn't doing some of the projects I'm doing, and so with my channels now, I try to limit myself to channels where I actually communicate with the people. I love to see layouts, but I like to see people having fun with their trains more than looking at the coolest layouts. Because I've got channels for all of that. Guys that are always in an active building, whether it's Charlie Bishop or Mark Donegal Dad, even Everard Junction from the UK guys, German sites, there's, oh crap, I'm forgetting his name, Modellbahnträume, the guy and his wife. Then there's Emma 73 I love. There's American Model Trains, English, and he usually speaks English in his videos, but he's a German. He's a good channel to do lots of know-how with the American system. Yeah, Ifo, and that was some of the integration I was looking at when I started doing the Fowler car system, because technically there is a way, and you're a much higher level techie person, EFO. There is a way that once you were to take the Fowler automated system, you could put that on a decoder, like an Arduino with a decoder, and you can actually plug it into your Central Station 3 and control it as an accessory. So I literally could have controlled my Fowler car system from my Central Station 3. Which is where I was kind of going when I made everything go boom. No blue smoke or anything. Just everything went zzz, and all the Fowler car motors and read sensors just stopped working. I really am not busier. I am not busier. I just take longer to do stuff. I mean, I will sit down at a computer and play one of my computer games I haven't played in 10 years and find out I've spent 5 hours playing it. So I'm not busier, but I am going back and rediscovering some books I wanted to finish reading, and video games, a couple little household cleaning projects. I've had a personal war against the spiders the last 2-3 months. I've been vacuuming under my layout table multiple times. I just went after my garage and sucked them all out of my garage a few weeks ago, and they're back. Spider webs on everything. You go to grab the garbage cans and take them out front, and there's spiders everywhere. It's like, Merklin of Sweden is a great channel. He's a great guy. But I am watching fewer and fewer how-to channels and more watching guys running trains. But the number one priority when I look at all the channels I subscribe to, and I get up each morning and look at everybody who's posted videos, I make a note. I'm going to watch his, I'm going to watch his. That one's being saved till later. And I unsubscribed from a couple channels because I was always saving them till later and then never watching the videos. And it was nothing negative. It was just, there's a reason I was saving it till later. It wasn't my primary interest. If people I know and care about, like Ray Bobel put up a video today, and I haven't watched videos today because I've had Cayenne, and when Cayenne's here, it's Bluey, Paw Patrol, occasionally Blue's Clues, and he's into Disney's Cars. And he does not let Opa sit down in my chair and just watch TV. And if I even reach for my computer, he comes over and grabs my hand. Oh, Opa, you're going over here. You are not touching that computer. Well, we actually pay to have a bug service come through, and it specifically said, we want them all, including the spiders. And spiders apparently wear gas masks and just flip them off as they go by. But you know, technically we're not supposed to kill the spiders because the spiders protect us from the really bad bugs. And I try to make a deal with spiders. If they stay out of certain areas, I will leave them alone. They can live in my garage if they stay up and out of the way. Places I don't go. But when you're building webs where I open and close the garage, or you're building webs on my saw table, then you've broken the truce and you must die. Hey, Stuart, how are you? But like, you know, so the problem is if I name one channel, I feel the need to name 30 channels. But number one, if you're somebody who comes to my live streams, your videos are top priority. And again, well, I don't come to his live streams. Well, if you don't come to my live streams, you're not hearing me say this. People I've met, people I know, people have been longtime friends of this channel, or people I talk to on other streams, their videos I watch first. And that's because if I comment on their videos, they comment back. I post videos, they comment on mine, where it's actually talking to a friend. If it's a really big channel that, hey guys, I don't talk to my fans, then I tend not to really watch their channels, because I only have so much time I can watch videos, and I want to stick to people I like, where I know them, they know me. I'm not just a name on their comment section. It's somebody who knows me, and I know them. So like whenever Tim here posts a video, I'm on it. If Ray posts a video, I'm on it. If Christopher posts a video, I'm on it. If Mark, any of you guys here post a video, I'm on it. But certain channels I do, I stay subscribed because if I got some time and nobody else has posted something, I'll watch or try to play catch up. It doesn't mean they don't have awesome channels. It's just I'm as time allows me, I stick to the circle of friends. Does that make any sense? I'm not watching a channel to try to hobnob with the big channels so that I can glean my own subscribers off of that. I watch the channels because I know the people or been talking to the people through comments, through live streams on multiple places. See, I've never heard of that one, John. Mystic Southern. Well, I've got spiders on my deck. I've got a nice little deck right outside my kitchen area. Now, none of you know the layout of my house, but maybe I should do an Artie and take you on a tour. But I have a nice little deck I built out of cedar, although it needs repainted. The finish is worn away every winter, and I didn't let it go, so it doesn't look as nice as it is. But anyhow, be that as it may. But we've got one apparently family of spiders that are just hell be damned. We've got a walkway down to the driveway. You come out the kitchen door, you walk down the deck, and there's a stair I built to a walkway to the driveway to the garage. And every night these spiders build up a ton of webs on the one handrail, and you can see 2 or 3 strands across where you're walking through. So they built their main part, and now they're trying to really expand it. I've got a broom on my deck, and I go out there every morning and sweep away all the cobwebs and kill any of the spiders I see. And the next morning, it's back with the 3 or 4 strands across. And I mean, what are these spiders thinking? Are they like, man, if we ever get this net finished, we're going to catch that fat bastard and eat him? You know, what are they thinking? They just keep building it across that big, 36-inch wide stepping down area, downstair area. They're just constantly rebuilding there. And all right, Mark, take care. You got a wheel. All right, gotcha. Have a good night, man. Oh, there's a few guys that now automate replies. Wow, I am really honored, Damien. That out of all the live streams, I'm one of the two, and the other one is Heath. That puts me in awesome company. They do it because they can. They do it because that's how they're programmed in nature, yes. I just like to personify them a little bit and give them some... To me, they're just a bunch of these goofy moron spiders like, hey, you know, if we get this web, we can catch them all, and we'll be set for life. Our great-grandbabies will be eating off of this if we actually can finish this net and catch one. And then I come out and tear... Oh, he tore it down again. All right, wait till he leaves and we'll start building again. All right, fellas, come on. All right, George is now here. Boris the Spider. Not the ex-prime minister. The Who song. I watch a lot of live streams. Some I try to talk a lot, some I just listen to, because it depends on the time of the day. For example, when I'm not watching Kai on Fridays, Steve Childers has a live stream. He does 11:30 my time to anywhere between 12:30 and 1:30 my time, so 1 to 2 hours. And I will go on to it and type a couple of things and listen to them and watch them. But I'll come down here. I'll be sitting and I'm setting up my trains or doing test runs for my live stream later that day. Now, he was off today, and because I knew I was watching Cayenne today, I set everything with my trains up last night when I felt good enough that I could come down here and set up my trains. And then when Kai said, Opa, trains, it just made it easier to just do the test session while he's watching them. And everything ran smoothly. And so far, everything's been running very smoothly. I haven't seen anybody stop except for Cayenne turned off the Mallard. Hey, Mick, how are you? You got hijacked at the pub. Yeah, Tim, I'm sort of back and forth, like, you know, when I got near 1,000 subscribers, whenever I had a big growth spurt, or I have a big, long, dead period, I start to think a bit about subscribers, but I've never changed my channel to attract subscribers. In fact, I will tell you this. I changed my channel and drove away subscribers. There was a time where all my videos got 800 to 2,000 views. My American, when I was doing all the American stuff and showing how the American system worked and the American track and doing all this, you go look at my the American Outsider show list, and you see that every single one of those episodes, up until around episode 17, at least 1,000 and as many as 4,000 or 5,000 views on those videos, with a standard of around, say, 1,700. You know, maybe a median. But I finally hit a point where it's like, that's all I know, because I'm a beginner. And, you know, people stopped coming. And the stuff I do now does not appeal to a mass audience. But what I do on my channel now, the comedy stuff, just run my trains and babble here in front of a camera. I realized a year ago, this is really what I wanted. And so whether I have 100 subscribers or 1,200 subscribers or wherever I'm at, I no longer care, because I love doing this chat. It doesn't cost me a dime to do this chat. I don't put any effort into it. It keeps me running my trains. It keeps me excited about my trains. So when somebody comes in and says, I love that train, or I love that train, or tell me about that train, it beats running them alone when, hey, honey, check this out. Yeah, I know, Anthony. I've seen it before. And which Andy is leaving? So Jim is still here. I need to have a few beers. All right, you're taking off. You're going to Liverpool. Oh, I love Liverpool. Take care, man. Be safe. Have a good time. Oh, I think you're right there. If you don't have your own identity, you try to mimic somebody else's. I always had my own identity, but like my Model Train Outsiders series, where it was me and the Ghost of 2015, when I was actually working on the layout, that stuff came naturally. But in the last 2 years, I really haven't been working on the layout, so I haven't had inspiration to do those shows. And so I tried to bring it back late last year. I started Series 2. And I did about 7 episodes. And I even introduced a couple of new characters. So I not only had the Ghost of 2015, I had Dr. Zaius, the ape. And I had a lot of fun doing Dr. Zaius. And I had great skits with 2015, me and Dr. Zaius. And I had a great little storyline I was building up with Dr. Zaius and Heath from Humanity Junction. And, but it was hard to do Dr. Zaius because getting the mask just right. And I still had nothing else I was doing. I did a couple of hilarious things with Dr. Zaius. I still love the bit of Ray Bobel's challenge, his quit monkeying around challenge. And my favorite bit was Joyce and Dr. Zaius going at it. That was hilarious because that was one of the first times Joyce really stepped outside of just being sidekick here. She had already been singing a bit when I did that bit, but she had only sung a few songs at that bit. She had been, come down here for 20 minutes at the end of each feed or live stream. And she did a couple of funny bits for my 2-year anniversary show or 1-year anniversary show I did. At least it keeps them out of the living room, but she had not really been. That was her biggest and most wild part. And it was hilarious on camera bit. And to give her all those lines from Planet of the Apes. I mean, if you never saw that, you got to go see my Quit Monkeying Around challenge, Ray Bobel's Quit Monkeying Around challenge video. Because at the end of it, Joyce coming down with the baseball bat, she does 3 different lines from Planet of the Apes, which are hysterical. And Dr. Zaius interacting with her. Get your filthy hands off that, you damn dirty ape! Oh, no reason to be getting. Oh, Liverpool did win it. Okay, I didn't know that. Ewan's here. Hey, Ewan, great to have you. But it just, I couldn't keep that juice going. I'm doing Matt Clark. I'm doing the song parodies. I don't plan a live stream. I'm not like these guys that do live streams that, okay, today on this live stream, I'm building this, I'm working on that. I can't build on a camera because I'm too busy worried about, are you guys paying attention? What are you saying? Yeah, I'd be worried about that, and I can't focus on my building. And now that I try to do 3D printing, here, guys, watch my printer go. So I slowly, changed into, my channel is always about making me happy, because I think that's the worst thing in the world that can happen. There are some guys that talk about losing their mojo, and I don't want to be arrogant or be a douchebag, but sometimes the reason you lost your mojo is you stopped doing your show for you and you did it for other people. You started listening to the audience. And what you have to understand is, if you don't, and when I say don't care about the audience, I don't mean don't care about them personally. I just mean you got to do you and what makes you happy. And then an audience will come to that. Now, it may be an audience of only 30 people or maybe an audience of 500 people. But you can't worry about the audience, and you can't appease the audience, because the minute you appease one, somebody else wants it. Jean Ricard will nag me about running trains Steuerwagen first, and sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. It just depends on what train's out, what lane I put them in, because I'm not going to pick them up and put them around. So if I'm putting the metronome on lane 5, he might go Steuerwagen first if I put him on lane 1. If I'm putting one of my other trains around, there are certain trains that don't handle Steuerwagen first. Pushing up the incline is not as easy for them as pulling up the incline. There's a couple where it's easier to push than pull. But I tend to run locomotive first. All right, Kiwi Dave, take care of yourself. It is a busy Saturday late morning where you are. Or wait, no, I'm trying to remember. Maybe it's late afternoon where you are. What time is it where you are, Kiwi Dave, as you're leaving? Hey, Joshua, W56 is here. Nice to have you. It's 9:45 a.m. Okay, so you're slightly later than Artie. Okay, right. That works with me. So it's, yeah, you got Saturday morning stuff to do. Yeah, because Ewan put out a great update with his, I mean, you want to see a beautiful layout? Go check Ewan's N gauge here. N scale. Or N gauge. I mean, some people, well, it's, I mean, technically, I guess you have to call it, you really do have to call it N gauge, because the scales in N are very different for some stupid reason. 148, 150, and 160. But, I'm getting warm down here. Oh. Suddenly got warm down here. It was cool down here most of the day. And no, I'm not running the temperature. You're 2 hours ahead of Artie. Okay. So, yeah, it's just, you've got to, in the end, people start saying, hey, I want to see this, I want to see that. Now, you know, occasionally I'll respond to a request. Like, Mark asked me to run some steamers. Well, I had been planning on running a steamer last week, but I said, what the heck, I'll get both steamers out and let Mark see the two Rhinegold's. You know, now and then maybe I do a request, but if I start doing everybody's request, the one time you tell somebody no, did you hurt their feelings? You know, it's, It's like teaching. You have one rule for everybody, because the minute you start making exceptions to the rule, other people start feeling excluded. Yeah, I'm going to have to start investing in static grass, but it's not going to be anytime soon that I do static grass. Because literally my Delmenhorst side, and I put this up so much lately, but my Delmenhorst side over there, yeah, Tom's Miracle Trains and Classic Autos, watched a video of my, but Delmenhorst, which is, in reality, it's over there, but on the map, on your image, my finger's pointing that way. That's the Delmenhorst side. Most of that, 80% of that is concrete. It's streets, buildings with a tree here, not even a lot of yards, because it's inner city neighborhood, shopping area, Fußgängerzone. You've got the big Marktplatz, the market square. And then you've got the three main roads that lead to, all come together and lead to the train station. Bahnhofstrasse. And then it's all pavement with a small green park area in a couple places. So I won't be using a lot of static grass on that side of the layout. That side of the layout probably won't have a lot of static grass. And most of the static grass on this layout is going to be right above me. And then on the corners outside the stations. So I won't have a lot of static grass except in the middle here, and where I create the little Hastbergen. Hastbergen is actually it's an older village than the city of Delmenhorst, but somewhere in the I forget if it was the 1930s or after World War II, either right before World War II or right after World War II, Hastbergen was incorporated into the city of Delmenhorst. So it was once its own little village, but it's a farming village. They have their own little school, they have their own little gymnasium, they have their own little working medieval watermill and museum, but it's a tiny little farming village. And so I am building a small section of it. Basically, if you go up there, where you see that little gray area and the little green, light green dots around it, that's Hastbergen. That will be Hastbergen. A couple of little farms, and then the fields over here. I might be putting in a river over here, which would be the Weser, which will actually be easy to put in, but we'll see. And then the Bremen/Hanover side. Oh, good. That's good to hear, Mick. Oh, no. Wait, if it's mushrooms on toast, no. Ugh. I thought MOT was something else. Yeah. I was looking at those EFO. What I find interesting is how wide Fowler made their road strips. That even the Fowler HO car road strips, which would be perfect, they're thin enough that you could still, the magnet should still be able, that adhesive street tape from Fowler. I mean, sort of like this stuff here, except this is 1/64 scale. This is Hot Wheels scale. I've still got some HO, but it's not the same width, and that doesn't make sense. Although, in all honesty, here's an HO car. This is almost well, let's go to the big screen. Yeah, so here's an HO car. You know, this Fowler 1-lane bit is almost 2 lanes wide when you think about it. It's almost a 2-lane road, which does create a little bit. So I've been tempted to just scratch the Fowler car and create my own, because I got a router table, so I could just preset the depth to, you know, 1 millimeter and just run it through, buy my own wire, or use the Fowler wire I have, and just make it thinner and work the way I want it, you know, narrower, and make 2 lanes. I don't see why Fowler makes it so wide. But in the end, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in, and then I buy, because I can get it cheap, basically liquid leveler. Big gray tub of it. All those buildings come out. I put little bits of tacky strips all over the areas I don't want it to level off, where certain buildings and everything are going to set in. And I'm just going to pour a gallon of this liquid leveler over to the same depth of the Fowler cars, so it just goes right over the pavement, because it's all concrete. That whole area is concrete. So why not? Why not just put the lines in? I mean, I suppose I could do a thick paste and pour it in there and lay the Fowler line in, but that would be, I wouldn't do that well. Yeah, I mean, I assume that's why. But I don't have a curve handy. I mean, I could walk over there and grab a curve. But, you know, even when it's going around a curve, it's not going to budge very far because of the magnet shoe. You know, since it's going to follow that, however it follows that, you know, line. That's a lot of play space on both sides. That's a lot of playroom. Now in the curves, you might think of it that way, but still, even around the curve, it's going to follow that line. I think they could have done it narrower. Oh, Evo, that is a man that really obviously has a passion to do that. Do the old cobblestone, stone by stone. It's just, that's just insane. I have the 3 basic table saws any DIY guy has to have. Now, some guys will debate which, there's 2 you definitely got to start with, but you can fight over which one. Since I always had what we call a circular saw or a skill saw, and a handheld miter box, the one thing I always liked was, when I finally got it, I fell in love with my table saw, my big table saw. 24 inches that way, 30 inches with extensions the other way, 30 inches deep. You can take sheets of 4x8 and rip them. I can shave blades out of a 6x6 stud down to probably 1/8 of an inch. Is about as narrow as I can go. If I got a finer blade, I might be able to go, but I think 1/8 of an inch is about the thinnest I could do with my table saw. Because again, it wasn't the most expensive high end, but it was a decent enough one. And then I now have the big 12-inch circular. I'm sorry, not circular. I've got a big 12-inch compound miter saw table. And then 2 years ago, when I was building the crib for my grandson, I got a router table. I finally got a router table. Yeah, Ewan, that is actually a tempting thought I have had, is maybe shave off a couple of millimeters off each end. I've got a hobby table saw, and I thought, you know what, just maybe try it. Leave the curves wide enough, up to the curve, let it widen out as it goes into the curve, but on the straights, really just cut it narrower. It should not affect it, according to my math and what I watch the cars doing. Now, turnouts would be a little different. You know, these might be a little different. But again, you don't want to cut them too much and mess the jigsaw puzzle piece up. But I've toyed with, Joyce actually said I should do it, except I would have to take out the bus station, remount it, and just take a 1/4-inch piece of plywood and build the whole square as one section, and then just use a Dremel and put the guidelines in where I want it for the wire. I've even toyed with the idea of getting magnetic tape down, as long as it's, or even wire tape down, non-magnetic metal tape, and just run it down, because a couple of people have done that. Yeah, the Railjet, actually I don't have him up at quite a high speed, but he is one of my smoothest runners. Just consistent, although the motor is really ready for a tune-up. It just needs a little tune-up. See my possibilities, take you on a walk of my house. Well, we'd have to clean the house and clean the garage. I never did my spring cleaning of the garage. But I have a 2.5 car garage, and the whole point of a 2-car garage was, Joyce and I both, long time ago, 2-car garage so we could keep both cars in the garage and out of the weather. So we have maintained that. There are people who buy houses with garage, and the garage becomes just a storage. And I could solve a lot of storage problems if I just started parking one car in the garage and made the other car. But people go, oh, well, you should move your layout into the garage. No, garage is not finished. It's not climate controlled. And I actually have more space down here than in my garage. About 130 miles per hour. Yeah. I have not been on the Railjet. We will be on a Railjet next June. We were supposed to be on one in 2020. We know it happened. But I've been on an ICE doing 250 kilometers an hour, which is about 150 miles an hour, somewhere in there. And that was smooth. We were just standing in one of the corridors between two different wagons. I think I was going to the bathroom or coming back. I ran into one of my students and Joyce. So we all just stopped and talked to the corridor. And the IC3 we're on had a sign, little electronic sign that told you what the train was, what the next couple of stops were, and how fast it was currently traveling. And we were going Hamburg to Berlin. And there was no stop until Magdeburg. So Hamburg to Magdeburg nonstop. And wow, yeah, 250 kilometers an hour. Yeah, I don't think Joyce wants to carry the laundry outside in the cold into to do the laundry. Yeah, I think that idea would go over like a nuclear bomb. Yeah, that idea would not. If you could sell that to Joyce Jean Ricard, go for it. When she comes down, try to talk her into it. I'm still just waiting for my one daughter to someday decide to strike it on her own and take that room back there right behind me. I want that room and to expand. Now, if I do get that room back there, then you might see a major reconstruction on this side of the layout. Delmenhorst would be here, and then I would create some massive scenics here. And then I would run it into that and then build a really cool big area out there, as well as have a parking area out there. And then this big site next to me would disappear. Fastest you ever went was about 1,380 miles per hour. Gee, I wonder what you were on. Yeah, Jean Ricard, you have these great ideas that you don't have to ever even remotely try to proffer, as we say, to... Yeah, Jean Ricard, you come to America. We'll get you a hotel room here in Toledo for a few days. And you just come over to my house and you look at my daughter and you make that suggestion and you see if you leave America alive. Yes, but it's, unless they moved it, it's Gleis 11. Or is it Gleis 7? Yeah, there's a cool little Märklin. Well, it's not Märklin, but yeah. I think they mostly did Rocco. But yeah, we were there in 2019 and did some shopping there. What is it? Platform? I forget if it's platform 7 or platform 11. It's not 12. I know that much. Gleis 11 or Gleis 7. I'll have to Google it now. Concern at all? I can't remember. Yeah, it's Gleis 11, platform 11. Very friendly people, too. Very helpful. When Joyce and I visited them, was it 2017 or 2019? I forget which one, where we visited them. And they were just so friendly, so helpful. Didn't have a lot of Märklin. And they were listed as a Märklin shop, not exclusively Märklin, but that they sold Märklin. Well, they had some Märklin, but they had a lot more Pico and Rocco. Not very much Märklin at all. All right, EFO is, somebody says, take it off. All right, EFO, take care. Yes, it is indeed 11 o'clock over there. Have a good night. Have a great weekend. Thank you, as always, for your information, your knowledge. You are an awesome resource. I should tap you more. Cheers to you. Thank you. But yeah, it's a great little shop, long, narrow shop there. And the sad thing is I'd been to Munich 4 other times and never knew it was there. Now, of course, 3 of those times I wasn't into trains. The 4th time I had gotten into trains. And I would have gone if I'd known it was there. But yeah, Joyce and I scheduled a day in Munich just so we had already done all the touristy stuff in Munich with our students over the years. So we wanted to go see the stuff in Munich we had never seen because we always did the same thing with our students. But yeah, we went over there and did some train shopping, bought a couple of things there, nothing major. Yeah, you should have done it. Just as a what the heck moment, Ewan. I've got a Mallard and I've got a Eurostar, and I couldn't even run those. Well, the Eurostar came with track and a controller. Because I did a what the heck. I wanted a Mallard, and I'm a Beatles fan, so I had to have the Yellow Submarine Eurostar regardless. I mean, yes, I would love it in AC 3-rail and run it on this layout. I foolishly thought anything could be relatively easily converted to AC, but apparently Hornby, Eurostar, no. I've been told by 3 different places, no. Well, I hope you get to as well, John. If you go without an attitude, travel opens your eyes to so many great things. And, you know, a lot of people say, avoid the tourist areas. Well, no, those are tourist areas because those are the things most people want to see. When you go to Paris, you want to see the Eiffel Tower and you want to see the Louvre Museum and blah, blah, blah. Yes, it's great to go experience that one-time beer place or coffee shop. And even when Joyce and I went to England, there were things we didn't want to do. We didn't go to Stonehenge because both of us just were like, meh. So, but if something sounds interesting to you, then do it. But the hardest thing, and this is where I can get in trouble with some of my viewers, but I said this to my students, I said it to my students' parents, and I say it to anybody that listens to me, especially as Americans. Joyce and I have traveled, well, if we count the UK trip, all right, let me go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, so that's 15, 19, and 2022. So Joyce and I have now traveled abroad 17 times. We have gone to Europe 17 times. 14 of those with students. No, 13 of those with students. Once I went with the mayor of the city of Toledo and blah, blah, blah. Okay. When we're over there, with my students, we tended to go, like to Berlin and Hamburg. We went to the tourist places, the sightseeing places. Now, my students were grilled ahead of time for the whole year or 2 years before they got to travel, from the time they signed up until the time they got to travel, on what I expected out of their behavior and the importance that they not embarrass. I started with, don't embarrass yourself, your parents, your school, your city, your country, in that order. Don't embarrass yourself. Don't embarrass your family. Don't embarrass me and your school. Don't embarrass the city of Toledo. And don't embarrass your country. But when we're over there, we run into the ugly Americans, the trust fund kids, the entitled brats, the busload of people from South Dakota or Ohio or Michigan. And they can act like real jerks over there. Hey, why don't everybody here speak English? Because this is Germany. Yeah, but this is a tourist area. They should have some. Well, most people do speak English. Or they go to a big tourist place. Okay, you know there's going to be tourists there. And they throw temper tantrums about the lines. How long do we got to stay in this line? Well, they told you when you bought your ticket, 3 hours. You know, why are there so many people here? The same reason you're here.
Sorry about that.
Hey, yeah, he lasted about 10 minutes or so last time.
I thought we'd say hi.
Maybe his mom would. Up. You've been dumped. You brought him down and he's ditching you, woman.
Well, yeah. Ask me if I'm surprised.
Are you surprised?
Nope.
Hang on. Up.
Because he asked me for some more milk, and I didn't know how much he
Oh,
had.
right. Yeah, I didn't know if Luz was
I
giving
didn't know
him
how
a
much
second
he
bit.
had, and then I said, "Well, you want to go down and see Opa?" He forgot.
You see yourself?
He forgot completely.
Hi, everybody. You got a
about
paper clip.
yes, he does. He forgot completely
Oh.
about milk, and just beeline to here. So anyway,
I wasn't sure you smelled right.
does he?
Oh my goodness, he had a poop today that was bowling ball size. I think he
Oh.
lost 5 to 8 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wowza.
yeah.
So hi, Sean. Hi, Mystic. Hi, Tom. Hi,
On my
Leslie.
hair? Oh, got a hair.
Hi,
One of
Growler.
Grandma's hairs.
Yeah.
Opa doesn't have hairs that
Hi,
long
Andy.
anymore.
Hi,
Well,
Tom.
Not in places we can talk about.
Again, I think, yeah. Hi, Rick. Nice meeting you. Hi, Mick. Younger than ever. I don't know how you can say that after a crazy long week. But thank you, Joseph. So,
Yeah, and Japan's about as different a culture as you would run into.
I would think so. Oh, hey, can we get these likes up to 30? I'll have days to say, hey, y'all, can we get those likes up to 30, please?
Yeah, I gotta start writing some
Yeah, you
Daisy
sure do.
and everybody else. What? You want this one?
He's got to start working on the
want
Christmas
this?
special.
Okay. No?
We
What do you
love
want?
Matt Clark, and if you haven't seen it, go back
What?
and see it. It's
This?
really funny and cute.
No? Put them back? Back? Okay, I'll put them back. Bop. What do you want? I told you, if you want to play with them, you're going to have to stand. Opa's doing a show.
But Oma, you always
want
play
some
with
cards?
me.
You want some cards?
Oh.
Choo-woo! Why don't you go stand over there?
You want to stand over here?
You
I'll
wanna
watch you.
Hey, Cayenne, you want to
You stand up
stand
here?
there? Here, let Opa take that. I know Oma let you play with it. You want to go stand over there?
Pull your pants down. You look silly. So you see the guy trains? Choo!
Yeah, I just tend to stand behind him or...
Hope I can make him go choo-choo.
Well, that's true. That is very true, George. But yeah, I think he had 3 days worth saved up.
Yeah, it could be. We don't know. Because he was sick all week and we didn't watch him, so. But Liz went over a
But
few
yeah,
times.
you have to just keep an eye on
Yeah, I
him.
am.
Or at least a hand up.
Your toenails will look a little rough there, kiddo. Oh, don't go too close.
Oh, he's fine. He knows what to do.
Yeah, all right.
He's a
The
pro
choo-choos.
there.
See the choo-choos? You know what?
Yeah. Did you read Jean Ricard? Yeah.
What's that?
Oh, he's seeing the other cars up there.
Okay. Wow.
No, those are Opa's special cars
Yeah,
that
those are
Cayenne
Opa's
can't play
special
with. That's why you
cars.
got all the old beat up ones upstairs. Okay, back to Opa. No. back up there.
Okay, whoops.
Yeah, that's what he wanted to come down and negotiate thing with
Yeah, he
Oprah's
did.
car collection up there.
I could run the show. You got any spare train body shells? Yeah, that's true.
But Joyce and I mean, like anybody that's met us, you know, or the restaurants we go to, we go in treating people nice and
Too late for
polite,
that
and even
eventually.
if they're a bit rough or rude, we don't immediately return rudeness. We're nice people.
Yep. Well, we try to be.
I mean, if somebody really gets going, then yeah, maybe we'll put them in their place. But yeah,
There's the Railjet.
nope, totally different.
Railjet.
George, totally different. Just the way Hornby makes it,
Yeah, it would not fit.
I would have to invest a lot of money into trains and hope it worked.
You're making me nervous.
Oh, I just stand behind him, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you're nervous, is because you're trying to read the chat and do that.
Well, a little bit, but we just hear him moving.
Right. Oh no, he
He's
sways.
singing and
He's
talking.
good. He gets excited about something over there. That's what I haven't done for him.
What's a piece of cake?
You'll see that face.
Yeah.
And let's go to the big
I don't
camera.
think you have him on one. There we go. Yeah, we like it when they beep, don't we? It's that one over there.
You can tell the nationality of a train by its horn.
Yeah, you can. Oh, that does have the best horn. I will concede that. You hear that one? That's what's doing that one. Choo-woo-woo! Choo-woo-woo-woo! That's the best one. So these electronic beep.
Yeah. Those grins.
Well, Jean, at this point, he awkwardly could.
No, I would
he's
not
got
try
a
and
good-
use one of the trains I got, because I would break something or mess up
and
something.
then he would cry. So he has a good sense of respect for these trains.
That's a vice sign.
Vice line? Yeah, I can't read it.
Well, the one was a whistle,
Yeah.
a fifer. Whoa. Got a little too excited there.
Careful. 'Cause we could be King Kai in there if we're not careful. Oh boy, did you hear that one? That's got a silly whistle. Actually, it's got a decent whistle. Which one was that?
That's the check rail jet.
The check rail jet? Okay. It's definitely different. Funny.
Oh, the only time I blow horns is when he's down here, because he loves it.
Yeah, he does.
He loves those horns.
That's the
and there are
best
certain
part.
pitches he really gets into.
It's that one. Do you hear him?
Yeah, and he likes to know which train's doing it. I usually
He
point
does.
out which train.
Yeah. Bye, Railjet. Oh, that's the Railjet. Is that the Railjet?
You got it. That's the
Wow.
Austrian railjet.
That's got a good horn.
Austrian.
Yep, that's got a good horn.
Czech. Nope, wrong one.
Yeah,
Whoops, not Czech. Czech.
there's that one.
Austrian. Czech. Austrian. Everybody's just watching, waiting.
Yeah.
Everybody's just watching. Well, we've
It's
only
like,
got 11
oh.
in anymore.
Oh, it is a small group. Oh my.
Well, a lot of people are going to Gets. Other people were live
Gets?
streaming.
That's.
Okay, all done.
Woo!
And yes, I'm sorry,
That
he does
is
just,
such a trustful.
yes.
lead there.
Yeah, you're catching me,
You're
right?
going to catch me.
Now what? Now what? Over here. Over here.
Here, a Shay. What's
Shay
it?
is a type of locomotive.
I assume that, but
Oh.
I don't know whose.
All right, I will let you there. I will turn this way, and then you can play with the cars, and I can look at the camera. Except nobody will hear my voice.
It could be a little bit of a problem.
There you go.
It's like everything slowed down. It didn't stop. It slowed down.
Dude! Dude!
Yes, and he screams. That's what he does.
Uh-oh!
Happy, mad, distress. I dropped that.
Uh-oh!
He's a screamer.
See, he goes on the track. Train goes on the track. Cars go on the road. Train
Yep.
on the track. Cars on the road. Although, you often put the cars on the track.
Careful, don't knock that one over. Yeah, he gets all our attention. Okay, that's one of
He
your
has to
wanted
get it.
ones. Gotcha.
Oh, careful, careful. Don't push that on the track. too
Is
much.
that American then, I assume?
Shay? No.
Yeah. No? Okay.
I don't know. The style might be all around the world. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what a Shay is.
Well,
Other than I
somebody
know
can
it's a
answer that.
locomotive.
Whose loco is it?
Because then he'll eventually get tired of this and he'll grab 4 cars. It's always 4.
Oh, that's frustrating. It's American. Okay.
So he'll grab. Did you drop one again?
So we will look into that.
But then he'll
Yeah,
decide to
that's
go on the floor
wow.
and
Talk
play.
about baby proofing. Oof. The need thereof. Heaven knows they are curious, and they will grab everything.
Yeah, there's that, Rick. There's definitely that. What? I'll put that right there, okay? So he's trained. He's very good. Now, every now and then he wants to, and he will test to see, you've always said no, is today different? And he'll reach, but he'll look at you. And I can tell him, no, that's a no touch. And he backs off.
It's a logger? Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Show HO gauge. Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, put it on the track. And then it goes, whoop, 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 whoop. See, it goes nice and smooth if you treat it right.
Good push, guy. There we go.
Oh, wow! A little too hard.
A little rough there, but that's all right.
But Opa did the worst thing by trying to catch it.
Yeah.
I think I did more damage. Well, I didn't do any damage, but... Done? What?
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, happy birthday, Rick, to your wife,
Who? What? Where? Who?
Rick.
Oh, Rick. Oh, well, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa.
What's to say? Is that Lisa?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep,
So
that's the
happy
Rick and Lisa.
birthday, Lisa.
Yeah, Well-Chuffed Railways is Richard and Pauline, and then this is Rick and Lisa.
Gotcha.
In fact, it used to be Arno Railway. It took me a couple of minutes
Yeah, I
before
figured it out. So
I
yeah,
gave
we'll
her
tell
before I
her.
go
Yeah,
out.
tell her we said happy birthday, and it was a pleasure meeting her. And you.
Okay, so he's now willing to go on his own. I'm now independent of you. I shall stand over here and play with the cars since you refuse. And see, they use these terms, they treat us with respect. They use these terms as if we know. Like it's a geared steamer. I have no idea what a geared steamer is, other than I know what gears are, and I know what a steamer
Well,
is.
they've said it's a logger.
Right, and
it's
it's
a
used for
forest
logging.
railway, yeah, and it's got some grunt.
Well, I read all that, yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
She heard people saying thank you, happy birthday, Lisa. No, that's got to go on the track, honey.
If he keeps on the road there, I usually don't give him too much.
No. Still don't have that. Okay, I've been
That
told.
doesn't, dum. See, you get that dozen, and then dun.
Yeah, right.
You get a couple of words, and then a whole lot of something else. But it's very definitive. I don't know if he just...
It's like he has an idea what he wants to say, and he's just going to say whatever.
It's like
comes
everything
out.
else he does. He just figures you'll adapt to him. Although he does speak, he does less hand gesturing and grunting. Now it's pointing and some words.
Well, we got more upstairs. We're trying to figure out what to do.
Uh-oh! Better pick up the car.
Okay, so Sean explained it. It means besides having steam drive with cylinders, it has gears to slow it further down.
Oh, okay, there you go.
All right, thank you.
And now you know. And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe.
Well, don't move your chair.
Yeah, I know. I'm stuck. I can't turn it around.
You have a BB under
So
it.
you're pushed further back if you ever wanted to type something today.
Oh, don't move. He's under it.
I know.
You're gonna
I was
smush
going
him.
forward.
Yeah, but forward is the wrong direction. Yeah, it is.
I
His
looked
feet are
first,
right
Mommy.
there.
I looked first. Dang, woman.
Now you can move
I have
on.
no idea. Well, hi, Ollie. Welcome in. Welcome to the Anthony, Joyce, and Kyan show.
Hi, Ollie.
I don't know if this
Yeah,
camera
what
has no
about your
slack
feet?
anymore since I could. There he is. There's my grandson. Hey, Kyan, look at the camera.
Ryan,
Hey, Kyan, up here, look.
look at Opa. Smile.
You're on TV again. Pick up that car. And watch your head. He's gotten good about watching his head. He bumped it a couple times, so he watches now.
Oh, golly, yeah, that's not great.
So, I don't know. My daughter would have to say. I have no idea what he's going for Halloween. His
Oh, I
mom and
don't know
dad.
either. I know, she's so busy.
Actually, Jean Ricard, he actually is quite a ham for cameras.
So, I don't know. We haven't gotten that far. Right now, she's working for a show.
Yeah,
This
my daughter
weekend.
has a craft show this weekend that she is having a table at and selling her stuff and advertising her business. And my other daughter is helping her and has made some of her own stuff to sell. And so I was sick all this week. This is the one week they really wanted me to watch Kyan so they could sew and put everything together and paint and get all her knickknacks together from her store. What'd you find? Is it gone? Must be gone. I got nothing. It's not on your hand. It's not on my hand. Must be gone. Ask Oma to turn
I
it off or
am
give it a push.
sure we will know later what you want. Oh, he wants that one on.
It is on. He turned it down a bit. Is it moving again? It's on. It just, he turned it down and it stopped moving. It just might be. Did you get a push and it start moving? It's not moving? It's one of its drive wheels must be off. It's so finicky. You get it weighted down, and there it goes.
Need to ask it, don't need to go.
And you got to make sure keep the speed up a certain level.
Right. I can see that. What do you think?
Problem with the Shay is they have
Plastic here, she said. That's that silly. That big couldn't be in the taxi one. Yep.
we did everything for Halloween when I was a kid. Vampires and zombies and Frankenstein's monster. Now kids draw 3 cat lines on their face and say, Happy Halloween. Not a lot of effort into it.
Some of them do. Still.
You mean disconnect them?
Hi, Diane.
Yeah, I do have one set of wires.
Hi. My name
Because
is,
of his mom's in-home business and dad's computer stuff everywhere, he is learning he has learned very quickly to not touch electrics. Now, he loves to mess with tablets and cell
I'm gonna
phones.
give you a kiss.
He's not digging that. You don't do it the same.
No, I don't do it right.
What? You
Not
want
that
up?
I can't go. You can go up, but you can't go. Oops. You see the train? Go woo woo.
But yeah, we were running 3 German and 3 non-German trains today, I guess was the one theme. Or we had a railjet theme because we were running all 2 of the railjets.
There's a steamer. Are those your new cars?
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
So they don't look out of place with that steamer.
they don't
I'm
at
sure
all.
true.
Yeah, somebody knows they are, but to me,
I'm
they
sure
don't.
there's some guy that would be watching this video going, that locomotive's 40 years out of date for those passenger cars. What are you doing?
No, you're not on road or you'll put on here.
Die Wagen passen den Loco nicht zu. Was ist los mit ihnen?
Oh, why am I not getting this on?
The best is the vintage train.
There you go.
Well, no, the best is the railjet and the ICE-3, but it's a nice vintage train.
You know what you do? Oh, you feel what to do in it.
Where's the beer car or the beer can? Want to hand me the Beck's beer? Yeah, Kai's actually was showing it, I think, before you came in, Jean-Ricard. But yeah, here is the Beck's beer. I did not put it on.
Oh, that doesn't go on the track.
But yeah. And Joyce was the one who saw this and says you should get that. And she saw a bunch of other cars, and she actually suggested me getting a bunch of beer wagons and having a beer train. And so I was like, hey, if she's cool with it, why not? The
Right.
problem is most of them had like old pre-NEM couplers, and it would have been more than I wanted to deal with to sort them out. Some of them did have the Fleischmann NEM socket couplers with the Fleischmann Profi coupler. And so I bought this one. I didn't buy the other one because the guy was giving me a deal on these, and I didn't know how much I wanted to spend. But I got those 4. I got those 4 cars. Let's see what camera can throw them at. Yeah, right there. That's a good view.
Put it back on.
But as you watch them go around the corner here, and then the trees are in the way, and everybody's going to come through and block that view. That's why I like this slightly higher up looking down view. But yeah, those 4 cars, those 4 Fleischmann cars, and the Beck's beer car, I got all 5 for $100. So it came out to $20 per car. No, I don't, Joseph. No, I don't. What, see you? You want to see you? There you are. Do you see you? Can you say hi? Yeah, the camera's up there. That's right. There. That's the camera right there. Boop. 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 Yep, that's the camera right there. Now we can see all the trains. There, look. Now we can see all the trains.
I know, I can see him over here.
But since it's now been put as an idea and I've got the Becks, I may look for other beers that I like from Germany, Austria, and go ahead and do a favorite beer train.
Hi, Lehigh.
Hey, Ian, how are you? Well, I got you. I got you. What are you trying to do? What do you want? What? Okay, just sit. Sit. There you go. It's all good. You keep pointing.
Damn, whatever blast the phone. Oh,
So, what you doing? Are you sucking your thumb? You don't suck your thumb.
is this there? That would be new.
What? What do you want? All right, what do you want? Oh, no, you can't have that. No. Anything you can reach over there, you can have. You want a car? You want the containers? No, you cannot have that truck. No, he's seeing the miniature Wonderland truck. I can't even show you the truck, or he would immediately want it, and Carlsberg. No, Jean Ricard, I don't think a Carlsberg beer van would be on that train.
No birds.
I don't think. Now, I agree, Jean Ricard, when we get over to Germany, I will try one more and see if maybe we just got a bad batch.
Fair.
Because I thought it was meh. Joyce thought it was one of the worst beers she ever had.
Yeah, it was horrible. I mean, Anthony drank the whole thing. I wouldn't.
I paid for it. I said, I didn't. What do you want? Ah! Ah! Okay, now what? No, you're not going down that way. You can go down this way.
King Kai. Watch
No,
out for
Opa's
King
not going.
Kai.
Sorry.
Watch out for King Kai. Watch out for King Kai.
Okay, Oma says you're going with me,
Yeah,
Oma.
that's fine.
Joyce is being taken away. Sorry.
Where are we going?
Oh, yeah. He's got places he likes to be. Here, I'll put the Joyce cam so you can see what he's doing. He likes to look at the ICE-1 because it reminds him of the ICE-1 upstairs with the My World. It's the same train. So he wants to touch it, and I always tell him he can't. But sometimes he wants to stand on that, but he wants to stand on that credenza. He also likes to stand on the chair over there. There's a chair over there that he stands on by the station. I turn it around so that the back is up against the rail, and he likes to stand on that and watch the trains. So he's got. Oh, okay. No, probably not for another 10, 15 minutes. I think she was going to get Chris first. But yep, that's how he... Yeah, Jean Ricard wants to know your taste in beers. Oh, he's already got a grip on my wallet. I just bought him some toys today, and it's just because, something new for him to play with when he comes over. Hey, Kyle, welcome in. Oh, there's that Continental versus the Islanders stuff. Euro crap. Fizzy Euro. We know the Egyptians brewed beer, and the Germans, the Italians, the Brits, the Irish, you all don't brew it the way the Egyptians did. Everybody makes their own beer. There's only one thing all beer drinkers should agree on, which is that the vast majority of American beer sucks. At least the mainstream beer. There's a lot of good microbrewery stuff that has a slightly higher content. But I hate this British sort of, because I've had a lot of British beers, and some were good and some were awful. But none of them tasted as good as my favorite German and Czech beers. And I try to be pro-American on a lot of things. I defend American cars. I defend a lot of things about America, but I also will criticize America. But when it comes to beer, and I had some American beers I liked that now I'd probably go back and go, but I had some English beers I loved, UK beers, and a lot I thought were not good. And I don't like Guinness. I've had Guinness twice, and both times I'm just like, this is crap. Sorry to you Guinness fans out there. I think Guinness tastes horrible. But I usually get yelled at, well, you're just an American. You wouldn't know good beer. And I'm like, no, I drink good Czech beers and German beers. I had an Italian beer while I was in the UK. What was it? Gran Palini or something like that. Holy cow. That was an amazing beer. That would have gone into my list of top 10 beers I ever had. I just can't remember what it was. It was Gran Primero or Gran Previso, something like that. Holy cow, was that a good beer. That was just... And I went in kind of with a snob attitude. The Germans and the Czechs, they do beer. What do the Italians know about beer? That was a good beer. You would have to name Scottish beers. Wherever Joyce and I eat, we always try to find local restaurants, and we always ask. We try not to go to chain restaurants. So I can't even name all the restaurants. And we did eat at a couple of chains. Like we ate at the Slug and Lettuce. Although when we saw it, we didn't know it was a chain. It was a restaurant. We looked at the menu and said, we can eat here. We got a beer and ate. We met these two beautiful, wonderful people that had just finished their dinner, but it was one of these restaurants where you share tables. So they kindly offered Joyce and I a place to sit with them. And they talked to us for about half an hour, 40 minutes as we ate. And they had another beer and then another beer. And then they took their dog, Lord Tennyson, home. Guinness is a man's beer. Well, I guess I'm just not a man. Because Guinness to me was horse urine. Yeah, Belgian beers are good. I don't have a nationality where I think they're better at it. Nationalities do. You know, you've got it here. I watch good guy Alan Reynolds, and Alan just, if it's German, it's piss. And so you got a couple guys in here that say the same thing. That fizzy Euro beer, you know, only we here do beer correctly. Yeah. Yeah, Canadian beer is good beer too. Hey, I still can go for a Black Label, Molson's, Blue Ice. Now, there's a lot of very cleverly and interesting name beers, like a couple of the ones Alan likes, Alan Reynolds, that he drinks. They've got these strange names, you know, Parsons After Dinner Mint or something like that, or Old Bailey's, you know, those intrigue me. It's like, I'd be willing to try it just to see, but I just, you know, I know the beers I like, and I'm always willing to try another one. I love Beck's when it's brewed at the Beck's factory. I like St. Pauli's Girl when it's brewed at that same brewery, because St. Pauli Girl used to be a Hamburg, but Beck's bought it out, and now both St. Pauli Girl and Beck's are brewed, at least the European contingent of it, is brewed in Bremen. But I do like Beck's. But even more than Beck's, I like the Delmenhorst local Haka Beck's, because there was a little brewery called Haka's Brewery, which Beck's bought out a long time ago. But the Haka Beck's is also now brewed in Bremen, but it was a Delmenhorst local. But it's very good. I like Haka Beck's. Also Northwest Germany, I always thought it was a Dutch beer. It's Jefer, Jever, Jefer. I like Jefer. And then I like Belgian beers. I like Stella Artois. Trying to think of the Dutch beers I've had. Old Speckled Hen's Best Abbott's Piss. Abbott Aled and Speckled Hen. Abbott Ale, right. Okay, that's what he has. Abbott Ale. But there's, again, when we're in Germany, we're like, is there a local brewery? Because in Germany, all the small towns tend to have their own brewery. Jefer was a big seller where you worked? Okay. Yeah, I don't mind Jefer at all. But, that's the difference. The big international sellers, they either have multiple breweries where each country has its own ingredients that aren't quite the same as the home nation. But also, you have, just because as who was it just explained? Steve 87th here mentions the preservatives they put in the beer so they could ship it around. When you're getting the local breweries, there's no preservatives in it. It's the straight up beer. So if there's a local cottage that, a local pub, and they have their own brew, that's the first thing I'll try, because I don't know if it's good or not, but I just have the idea it's got to be better because it's local, and maybe it doesn't have all the preservatives in it. Oh, Schlenk, Carla? I have seen that, but never tried it, Clive. I've seen it and never tried it. Because I like some dark beers too, like some of the German dark beers. But it goes hit and miss. I like some Hefeweises and some other Hefeweises I don't like. I like Weiss beers in some places. And it just depends on the brewery. So it's not even a type of beer. It's just, I guess, how it's brewed. Or, you know, and I'm not talking Pilsner versus Lager versus this, or, you know, Lager, well, not Pilsner versus Lager, but you know what I mean. But, you know, it's like Pepsi versus Coke. They're both colas, but I like Coke and really don't like Pepsi. With beers, there's a lot of Hefeweiss beers. And some of them are some of my favorite beers, and others of them are the nastiest. But they're all Hefeweiss. I like some dark beers, but overall, Joyce hates dark beers. And most of my circle of people I know don't like dark beer. But I don't mind a dark beer. But there's a couple that I consider really, really good. Franz Connor's dark beer. I forget exactly what they call it, but Dunkelbier. Franz Conner usually makes a good dark beer. Weinstefaner, Hefeweiss. Yes, Weinstefaner. That's probably a car I'll get from my layout. So thank you for reminding me of that. Yeah, Weinstefaner beers, period, are good. I like them a lot. Doppelbock, yep, I like Doppelbocks. Yeah, the Reinheitsgebot. But, yeah, I think they get around, they still have the purity laws, but they claim not to have preservatives, but there are things they add so that they can ship the beer. That's why Beck's, because you can taste the difference in Beck's. Like 15 years ago, if I went to Kroger's and bought Beck's beer, it was brewed in Bremen. Now it's brewed in St. Louis. And I don't drink Beck's beer here in America anymore because it's not the same. Even Heineken. I used to like Heineken. And I still like Heineken over in Europe. I had a good Heineken in the UK. But when I buy Heineken here in America, I don't know, just not the same. I remember Fresca. You can still find it every now and then. I remember Cresta. Americans only know Fanta. For example, Americans only know Fanta as orange. But there was a time Fanta had like 6 or 7 flavors over in Europe. But the orange is the only one that came over here. Although for a while, cherry Fanta was over here. Somebody bought Fresca and re-releases it. You can special order or find Fresca. But like there's Great Mihai is still around. Great Mihai was a quiet little soda company. Great Mihai soda, and usually I say pop, but with Great Mihai I say soda. Yeah, I agree. If it's brewed in America, it follows American standards because Americans know what's better for the American market. I mean, there are some decent American beers. I mean, Miller's is okay to me. It's not god awful. There was a time I liked Michelob Ultra. When I was young, I liked Stroh's. And Stroh's was a poor man's beer. Well, I liked Stroh's as a teenager and into my 20s until I stopped drinking beer for 15 years. Newcastle Brown. That's one I never got a chance to try. That was one I had on my list, Mick. That was one I had on my list, and I didn't see it at any of the places we ate. I saw advertisements for it, but I always wanted to try a Newcastle Brown. I think somebody's coming to say goodbye. Yeah. They use corn syrup for a couple of reasons, not just as a sweetener. Cave Creek chili beer. Oh, hi, sweetheart. How you doing? What's up? Oh, dude. I was going to hug your mommy. Are you going to give me a hug? Bye-bye? Yep, bye-bye.
Say bye-bye. Give a hug.
Yeah, the head bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Give me a hug. Oh. All right, sweetheart. Maybe not. All right.
Yep.
Good luck at the show tomorrow. Mom and I will try to come out, maybe.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You finally got to see Opa this week.
Yeah, you wave and say bye-bye to everybody.
He's trying to do that. See you. Bye. Love you. Bye. And see, I don't drink whiskey or liquor at all unless you count brandy as liquor. Okay, there's one, and Mark is gone. He might have known this one. And even then, I don't like it except from one guy in Delmenhorst. But I don't drink liquor. I did develop a very dangerous taste for a thing called Julishka. Julishka is a Southeastern European, Serbian, Croatian, Czech, Croat. You know, they all claim it as theirs. Sort of fruit-based liquor. And there was a restaurant in Delmenhorst that served their own homemade. They had their own homemade Julishka. And, oh, Joyce and I loved that. Joyce and I loved Julishka. And we became addicted to it. And anytime we went back to Delmenhorst, we made sure we went to that restaurant, and the owner would recognize us, and he's like, "You want some more of my Julishka?" Yeah, and we finally actually bought a. They brew it and they send it in basic delivery jugs, or wooden crates, barrels, and we asked, could we buy a bottle of this? And he's like, we don't have bottles. It comes to us, we make it at home, and they ship it to us in barrels. I would really like some. And Joyce and I had gone to liquor stores and other places that had Julishka and tried them there over a couple of years, and it wasn't the same. It wasn't any good. So one year we went back there and we talked about, you really need to sell this. You could make a fortune. And he said, hang on. And they went and got a empty 2-liter. And they sold us a 2-liter bottle of their Julishka for 20 euros. That was the equivalent of, at least by the shots we were paying, that was probably 100 euros worth of Julishka. And they sold it to us for 20 euros. At least 100 euros worth of it, based on how many shots were in there and what they charge for the shots. Maybe 200 euros. And Joyce and I do not drink. Joyce and I do not drink a lot of alcohol, period. But oh my goodness, that 2-liter bottle didn't last 3 months once we got back to the United States. We just had a couple of shots of Julishka every night before bed. Because that their particular homemade brew of it was good. See, Andy, Hot Dog Pilot? See, those are all these cute names that I'd be willing to try something. But again, Joyce and I, we rarely drink. And when we drink, we grew up working class. I grew up poor working class. Joyce grew up upper working class, middle class. But we're not haute couture. We're very happy with a decent, cheap wine. Like, I love Riuniti Lambrusco. Probably the cheapest version of it. I like Lambrusco, any Lambrusco wine. But I love Riuniti Lambrusco. Lambrusco is one of my favorite wines. I even make it in my spaghetti sauce. I add Lambrusco to my spaghetti sauce. But I really like Riuniti Lambrusco. It's a cheap, low-budget one, but to me, it's really good. But we do like wine, and we do like occasionally a wine, champagne. But the one, otherwise it's beer, but even then, we don't drink that much. All right, Tom, take care. Well, first of all, you spelled it excellently. And that's that European phonetic listening ability, Jean Ricard. I think that is how it's spelled, Julishka. It is a fruit-based liquor. I don't know if it's peach or I forget which fruit it's based, but it's a liquor. It's not a wine, it's not a brandy. A Moscato. Okay, it's pear and plum. Thank you. Yes. See, I have not had it since 2017. I have not had it since 2017 because the restaurant was closed when Joyce and I were in Delmenhorst on 2019. Not permanently closed that we know of, but it was closed the 2 days we were in Delmenhorst, whether it was a family event. But we went by and it was closed Sunday. We were there Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and they just had a sign that said closed these 3 days. So we had no Julishka because we would have bought another 2-liter bottle. So you already knew what it was, and that's why you knew how to spell it. Okay. Like I said, I couldn't remember what fruit it was. But yeah, pear and plum. But again, Joyce and I have gone to liquor stores in Germany and the United States and found Julishka. And we bought, because they don't give you samples, and we got it home and tried it, and it was nothing like it, and we did not enjoy it. And when we talked about that with the owner when he sold us the 2-liter bottle, he said, well, this is our home brew. This is what you Americans might call a moonshine Yulishka. We have our own recipe for it. And see, I'm not a big fan of schnapps. I know all Germans like schnapps, and I've had schnapps many times in Germany because I had to attend a lot of political functions. When I ran my exchange program, we had to do some political things. Not political in the sense of election and things like that, but I'm representing the city of Toledo. I'm the ambassador of the city of Toledo, and so I get a formal greeting by this mayor. A couple of times I was greeted by the Duke of Oldenburg. Welcome to Delmenhorst, because Oldenburg didn't have an exchange program or anything like that. So when my kids came into town, we were the show. We were the one exchange program. The big city Oldenburg, 125,000 people, and Delmenhorst, which was 72,000 people, we were the big show. Like, the Americans are here again. We were the only American program. Now, Bremen is a bigger city and closer to Delmenhorst. They had, but we were on Bremen radio and Bremen TV a couple of times as well. But we had to attend functions. We had to meet people. And I had to bring greetings from the mayor of Toledo and the city council and all that. So we had a lot of functions that I was required to attend, some with my students, some on my own. And so schnapps was passed around a lot. Oh, you must have schnapps with us. But yeah, most of my hard liquor was in college, and I almost killed myself with way too much tequila one night, as in 6 tequila sunrises and 35 shots of tequila. And yeah, I didn't drink any alcohol for about 12, 15 years after that. I had severe alcohol poisoning and would have died that night if they hadn't rolled me on my stomach and let me not drown in my own vomit. But trying to be a man and show off. But yeah, I just, but otherwise, our favorite non-beer drink is a particular peach brandy from a place called Stefan Wine Paradise. Hey, Lynn or Liz, would you guys grab a bottle of the Stefan's peach brandy and bring it down? Back to Spinal Tap. Now, of course, cognac is just a fancy, well, I shouldn't say just, but cognac is still a brandy. I've had cognac a couple of times. Not Napoleon, but it's a different flavor. But I don't drink whiskey. Gin, any of the hard liquors. I've had ouzo a few times because I eat at Greek restaurants, and Joyce and I always make friends with the waitress, which brings the cook out, and then when we compliment the cook on his cooking, the owner comes out. The owner comes out, and is it already? Holy crap! I'm sorry, it was like 5:15 an hour ago. All right, so yeah, I should turn everything down here. Oh, I need to turn that guy off too. So let's go to the big cam. Big cam. There we go, the solo cam. Yeah, this is the stuff. Now, this bottle is 5 years old. And in 5 years, we drank this much. And there's 2 other bottles we bought in it. So this is 5 years old. This guy is Stefan. He's in a town called Sankt Goa on the Rhine River. He is a private vineyard. He does not, he ships internationally, but he makes no shipping deals. He ships directly from his shop. I know Stefan personally, although, well, no, I saw him in 2019, so I lied. I think, but did we buy any brandy? No, we did buy brandy, so this may only be from 2019. We've got 3 bottles up there, plus we also bought some other wines as well from him. But he is an award-winning, a major award-winning European vineyard guy. And it's, you can see down there, Vine Paradis, Stefan Koma, St. Gord, and then Germany and English for some reason. I can't tell you how many times I've walked up and down Heerstrasse. But this stuff, this is peach, basically it's peach brandy. This is my favorite alcohol. Over beer, over wine, over anything else, this stuff. And my favorite story I told a while ago on the live stream was that I had a friend, the former mayor of Delmenhorst when we started the exchange program, and her husband who ran a big corporation in the Bremen area. They had money up the wazoo. Both families were very rich. And yet they never flashed their cash. They never dressed like they had millions. They were very good people, but clearly very, very highly educated, very decisive in what is good and bad and blah, blah, blah. And you would only know that they clearly had money to spend by looking closely. When they bought a TV, it wasn't gold frame, but it was the highest level, highest quality TV you could have, and the stand on it was the highest level, highest quality stand. But it wasn't gaudy or ostentatious. You know, stuff wasn't gold plated. It was very conservative. You know, they ate bread and cheese like everybody else did. You know, it wasn't all caviar there. But anyhow, we talked for years about this. So finally we bought them a bottle when we came back from the Rhine. And we brought them back the bottle. And our second to last day with them, they broke it out and said, well, let's share the wine. I said, well, we gave you that for you guys. You know, he says, it's all right. If we like it, we'll order more. I said, okay. So they opened up the bottle and they get out the official proper brandy glasses. And these are people that have traveled the world. They hobnob with the top politicians in Germany. They go to operas. They are very cultured. But they were never blatant snobs about it. They were just very nice people. Lovely people. And sadly, they both passed away. So they're trying our fancy brandy. And I'm looking at them as they're going through all this, smell this, and to hold it up to the light, so, you know, put it on the different parts of your tongue, and, you know, all the functions of proper taste testing. And I'm just waiting for them to go, well, it's not bad for a common one. You know, I'm just waiting for them to give a sort of a, yeah, it's not good enough for us. And he looked at his wife while he has it in his mouth. And she looks at him. And so he finally swallows it and he goes, and then he looks at us and I'm like, here it comes, here it comes. And he looks at it and he goes, gefährlich gut. Gefährlich gut. Dangerously good. And as soon as he said that, I knew exactly what he meant. Dangerously good. It is. It is so, it's like your favorite pop, your favorite whatever. And it's strong alcohol. And you drink a couple of shots is all you should be drinking. But you're like, that's really good. I'll have a third, a fourth of, and you're on your ass somewhere. You know, it's dangerously good because, yeah, it's a high alcohol content and it's just good stuff. It's Joyce and I's favorite alcoholic beverage. And we bought plenty to get us through. Although, to be honest, we drink a lot less than we used to because both of us take certain pills towards the evening that you're not supposed to have alcohol with. So our little nighttime nightcaps of brandy are few and far between. Or after dinner when we're not taking pills. Wisconsin consumes a lot of stuff for the whole country. It's a beautiful state. Beautiful state. And I like all the people of Wisconsin except for two groups of people. The one I won't talk about. But the other group are anybody associated with the University of Wisconsin football fandom. They had some good years with Alvarez, but oh my goodness, they think they are the bee's knees and the world's greatest gift to college football. And when Ohio State beat them, well, if Ohio State had the same academic standards as Wisconsin, we have the same academic standards. Well, we at Wisconsin and Notre Dame, we have higher academic standards. No, you don't. Notre Dame, even for their football players, stop their academic standards. Don't kid yourself. The difference is Ohio State has 66 5-star recruits. Wisconsin had, 4 and 5-star recruits. Wisconsin had 20. 3 times as many 4 and 5-star recruits. It's a talent level and a coaching level, and that's why they fired their coach. Ohio State attracts bigger coaches. But that's it. The other one isn't something for the show. Well, unfortunately, there's a lot of great people that aren't here anymore because they did mix their drugs and alcohol. From Keith Moon onwards. So I'm very careful to not mix my drugs and alcohol. Anyhow, I have gone on for 3 hours here. That's half an hour much longer than normal. There were a few of them, but really, if you go back, wigwag, out of 90 games, Ohio State has won 72 of them. It's Ohio State 66, Wisconsin 18, and 1 tie, something like that. It's until Wisconsin beat Ohio State a couple times in the early 80s when a guy from Ohio State named Dave McClain coached there. And he wanted the Ohio State job. They didn't give it to him. They gave it to Earl Bruce. Bad mistake. And McClain went to Wisconsin. McClain made Ohio State the game for Wisconsin. And he wound up beating Ohio State a couple of times. And then Barry Alvarez came in where Wisconsin had gone right back in the toilet. Because Dave McClain passed away and somebody else came in. And then after that guy left, the whole thing, and then Barry Alvarez came in and brought you guys up, and he again made Ohio State the standard because by that time Cooper was winning a lot of games, but Cooper wasn't the greatest coach. If Urban Meyer had coached at Ohio State with the talent Cooper had, he would have won 7 national championships. Ohio State had the best football teams in the country in the mid-90s, and Cooper just couldn't get his head out of his butt. Ohio State should have won the 98 championship. They weren't even allowed in the championship game because they voted Florida State in over them. But, yeah. Anyhow, guys, I am at least half an hour over time, so I need to get going and do something. Just a little bit. I have one track on the floor down there with a little DC train running that you might hear. You might see it going under there. My little UK trains. So anyhow, I've got to log off. We got to do dinner tonight, and then I've got to catch up on YouTube. I'm still not where I need to be. This flu I had this week was just ridiculous. And no, it wasn't COVID. Tested 4 times for it. It wasn't COVID. And 2 different company tests just to make sure there wasn't a bad test read. It was just a bizarre high fever. And for 4 days, I haven't been that sick since I was in my 20s. That was just awful. That was god awful. And yesterday morning is when my fever finally came down under 100, and stayed below 100. And from noon on, it was normal, and it's been normal today. But I'm still drained. I'm probably more tired watching Cayenne than I normally am. So anyhow, for the few of you that showed up this evening, thanks for your patronage as always. I will see you all somewhere else. Joyce obviously took off, so I'm just going to say I'll be saying Choo-CHoos and happy trains, everybody. Take care from the Model Train Outsider. Don't get sick like I did this week.